All right, so I'm back in World of Warcraft after taking a break that lasted, well, more than a few expansions. I started playing WoW way back in vanilla, but I fell off after Cataclysm. And let me tell you, jumping back in now, it's almost a completely different game, but in a good way. Instead of picking up where I left off, I decided to go in a full new player style. I rolled a mage, and prior to that, I played a hunter, a shaman, and a death knight. So this is a class that I've never played before, and this time around I'm playing with my wife who has never touched WoW before, and she decided to go with a hunter. So this has been quite an adventure for both of us. One of the first things that hit me, Blizzard has completely reworked how leveling and talents work, and at first it was overwhelming. I had no clue how to spec my mage, but after a few levels it actually started making a lot of sense. Unlike in other MMOs like Final Fantasy XIV, where you have to start at the very beginning of the story, no matter how many expansions have been out, WoW dumps you in the most recent expansion. It's no slow or outdated content, just straight into the action. We started in the newest expansion, which is called, second to newest expansion, which is called Dragonflight. Once you hit level 68, though, you can dive right into the War Within. One of the coolest changes to WoW was flying. Instead of just floating around and, hitting the spacebar and not really going anywhere, you actually have to manage how you fly. You actually manage your movement, you gain momentum, use energy and ride the wind to pick up speed. It feels more engaging than just hitting the spacebar and flying it or just sitting there and hovering. I found the best way to level is doing the campaign that it gives you, but then just hopping right into dungeons. And the new dungeons are actually really fun. Well, every dungeon has the same destroy enemies, destroy bosses. They had to find, obviously, different ways to make them engaging. And these new dungeons are actually really fun. And they bring back a couple of the old ones as well. The queue times for the groups have been around 5 to 10 minutes, which isn't bad because we're DPS. If you play a tank or a healer, it's, instant like always. But what's really cool is you can actually now run, starting in Dragonflight, you can run dungeons with NPCs. It's a little bit slower, and you don't get the extra XP bonus that you get at the very end of the dungeon. But if you're new to tanking or healing, this is the perfect way to practice without a raid group screaming at you. Or if you just want to learn the dungeons and the mechanics of something so you don't join just a random group and completely wipe everything, that's fine too. Given that the game is about 20 years old, I was actually shocked at how active the community still is. There are still plenty of guilds that are recruiting, and finding people to play with is easy. But what surprised me the most is how good WoW is now for either solo or, in my case, doing a duo. With the NPC dungeons and the group, party, and raid finders, you can do all of the content in the game except for like the mythic, which is the highest tier stuff, without having a set group of players. So it's never been easier to jump in, progress, and experience content at your own pace. So in 2025, is World of Warcraft the same game as it was, 20 years ago? Not really, but it's kind of a good thing. If you miss old school WoW, you can go ahead and play WoW Classic. But now, if you're more of a casual person, you're like me, you're much older than when you first started playing, so you don't have, 5 to 10 hours a day to where you can just dedicate it to the game. It's more accessible than ever. And also, as someone that's been away for years, I'd say Blizzard did a good job modernizing the experience. So if you're thinking about coming back or starting fresh, it's actually a great time to do it. And I'll say this, if you're a new player, this is probably the easiest MMO to start. I've played Guild Wars, I've played Final Fantasy, I tried Elder Scrolls before, I played, vanilla WoW. I've played so many MMOs over the years, and a lot of times it's very easy to get lost or just feel like the game has left you behind. And World of Warcraft now seems to have done a great job of getting you right to where you needed to be to have fun. So I'm going to leave it with that. Just what do you guys think? Have you jumped back into WoW recently? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe. Thanks.